Too many of us live our lives like drivers stalled at the side of the road, foot hovering over the gas pedal, eyes fixed on a sign that never appears. We wait for the perfect conditions, the sun to shine, the road to clear, and a glowing green light to signal that it's finally time to move. But life doesn't work like a traffic system. There are no guarantees, no perfectly timed signs, just endless intersections of choice, challenge, and change. And the longer we wait, the more rust forms on our potential. The Stoics understood this deeply. Life, they taught, is not a passive ride. It's a winding, uncertain road that demands presence, courage, and motion. If you spend your days waiting for clarity, certainty, or permission, you'll remain forever parked, watching others speed by while your own journey never begins. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." In other words, don't wait for the road to be easy. Drive it anyway. So consider this your engine revving, your wake-up call. Stop waiting for signs. Be the sign. Build momentum through daily action, not idle anticipation. Whether the road is smooth or bumpy, whether the skies are clear or stormy, your job is to move, on your terms, guided by values, not validation. The path isn't found through waiting. It's revealed through walking, driving, living it fully. Start your engine. Pull onto the road. Make the turn you've been avoiding. Don't wait to be ready. Choose to be brave. The road may not come with guarantees, but the danger of waiting is far greater than the risk of motion. Let Stoic wisdom guide your hands and press forward. Now, number 1. Life doesn't guarantee clarity. Act anyway. The Stoics understood a hard truth that most of us try to avoid. Life doesn't come with a map, and it rarely hands you a clear direction. We often wait for signs, certainty, or a perfect alignment of circumstances before making a move. But that wait can turn into a trap. Marcus Aurelius never said, "Wait until you're sure." He said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." The Stoic compass was virtue and reason, not external clarity. And if you're always waiting for the fog to lift, you'll remain stuck at the crossroads while life keeps moving past you. The danger of waiting is that indecision becomes your default setting. You spend weeks, months, sometimes years, hesitating, hoping for that magical moment of absolute clarity. But life doesn't work like that. Clarity is often the result of action, not the prerequisite for it. Waiting for certainty creates anxiety, not peace. The longer you stand still, the more your doubts grow roots. You become paralyzed by the illusion of control, thinking that if you just wait a little longer, you'll know what to do. But that's not Stoicism. That's fear wearing the mask of patience. When you hesitate to act, you give up your agency. You allow fear, uncertainty, and external circumstances to dictate your path. You lose time, your most valuable asset, and you trade it for a false sense of safety. The Stoics didn't wait for calm seas. They trained to sail through the storm. Acting with integrity, even in the face of uncertainty, builds confidence, strength, and character. And those qualities are worth infinitely more than a perfect plan that never gets executed. So here's your call to action. Stop waiting for life to make sense. Choose your values and let them guide you through the fog. Take one step today, not when you feel ready, but because you're tired of standing still. Clarity is not promised. Comfort is not guaranteed. But progress is possible if you move. You don't need a sign. You need the courage to act anyway. Every moment you hesitate, life passes you by. Stoicism urges us to act in accordance with virtue and wisdom, not convenience or certainty. It's better to stumble forward on the right path than to remain idle, fearing a wrong turn. Remember, clarity often comes from action, not before it. Waiting implies that someone or something must give you permission. The Stoics rejected this mindset. You are the master of your soul. There's no road sign coming, only your reason, your judgment, and your will to act. Step forward. Act without waiting for a flawless signal. The moment is now. Number 2. Time is slipping away. Memento mori. The Stoic reminder of memento mori, remember you must die, is not meant to darken your outlook, but to sharpen it. It's not a threat, it's a wake-up call. Every time you delay, every hour you spend second-guessing or waiting for the perfect moment, is time that silently slips beyond your reach. Seneca said, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." How many dreams have died not because they were impossible, but because someone kept waiting for the right time? The danger isn't failure. The real danger is never beginning. We treat time like it's an infinite resource, something we can spend carelessly and always get more of. But death is not some far-off event reserved for old age. It's walking beside you every day. It doesn't send warnings. It doesn't reschedule. When you embrace the reality that your time is finite, your priorities shift. You begin to feel the weight of your choices. That extra hour waiting, hesitating, doubting, it's not coming back. The road signs we hope for, validation, perfect timing, clear outcomes, often serve as excuses to avoid discomfort. And while you wait, time keeps ticking. There will always be reasons to delay. But memento mori obliterates every excuse. The idea that you'll get to it someday is a lie the mind tells to avoid action. There is no someday. There is only now. This breath, this hour, this decision. Don't waste another second waiting for someone to give you permission to live. Don't let indecision become your legacy. The Stoics understood the awareness of death isn't morbid, it's motivating. When you accept death, you stop fearing life. So here's your call to action. Live urgently. Decide boldly. Act deliberately. Stop waiting for peace to begin. Peace begins when you move with purpose. Do not let time quietly pass while you stand still. Take the trip. Start the project. Make the call. Say the words. The clock is ticking, and you are the only one who can choose how you'll spend the rest of your hours. Don't let the fear of the unknown steal your limited time. Remember, you must die. But first, make damn sure you've lived. Number 3, external validation is a mirage. The Stoics taught that true freedom begins when we stop depending on external validation. The moment you begin chasing praise, likes, or permission, you give away your power. It may feel like you're just being patient, waiting for the right feedback, the right endorsement, but in truth, you're holding your life hostage to opinions that are never truly in your control. Epictetus said it best, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." The applause you're waiting for? It's a mirage that keeps moving as you chase it. This is the danger. While you wait for approval, your purpose grows quiet. You hesitate to act until someone else validates your direction. You put your dreams on hold because no one claps yet. But the Stoics would remind you, your worth doesn't come from outside noise. It comes from inner alignment. You don't need the stars to align. You don't need a spotlight. And you certainly don't need the internet's permission to move forward. You need only ask yourself, is this right? Is this just? Is this necessary? If the answer is yes, then move. Chasing validation traps you in a cycle of inaction and self-doubt. Every step becomes dependent on how others will respond. And when their response is silence, or worse, criticism, you shrink. The Stoics challenge that dependency. They urge you to act from principle, not popularity. To do what is right, especially when no one is watching. Let your values be your compass. Let your inner voice speak louder than the crowd. That's where strength lives, in the quiet conviction to walk your own path without needing a fanfare. So here's your call to action. Stop waiting for permission to start. Stop needing someone else to believe in your dream before you do. You are your own authority. Let your purpose be louder than the silence. Let your soul be your loudest cheerleader. The moment you drop the need for applause is the moment you become free. Walk your road without apology, and let the world catch up if it wants to. Or not. Either way, you move. Number 4, waiting. Breeds fear, not courage. Fear thrives in stillness. The longer you sit with uncertainty, the louder your inner doubts become. Waiting doesn't ease anxiety, it amplifies it. When you pause your life waiting for the perfect moment, you unintentionally give fear more space to grow. The Stoics recognized this deeply. Seneca observed, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Fear, left unchallenged, becomes a monster of your own making. What begins as a manageable concern becomes paralyzing through delay. Inaction isn't neutral, it's dangerous. It tricks you into thinking you're being cautious when you're actually feeding your fears. The more you delay action, the more the mind spins worst-case scenarios. The road signs you think you're waiting for, certainty, safety, permission, become justifications for staying stuck. But courage isn't something you wait for. The Stoics knew that courage is forged through action. Fear doesn't vanish by thinking. It dissolves when you move. The truth is, fear never truly leaves. Even the strongest people feel it. But the courageous aren't those who live without fear. They're the ones who keep moving despite it. The Stoic mindset trains you to walk into the discomfort, not away from it. To face the thing you fear and prove to yourself that you're stronger than your hesitation. Action is the only antidote. Every brave act begins with fear, but ends with growth. So here's your call to action. Stop waiting for fear to disappear. It won't. Move anyway. Take the first uncomfortable step. Speak the truth you're afraid to voice. Try the thing you've been overthinking for months. Don't wait for courage to arrive before you act. Build it by acting. Every moment you move forward in the face of fear, you reclaim your power. That's Stoic courage. Not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it through movement. Number 5, fortune is not on your side, but you are fortune. In Stoic philosophy is a wild force, unpredictable, uncontrollable, and often indifferent to your plans. One day, it lifts you up. The next, it slams you into the ground without warning. To rely on luck, chance, or perfect timing is to place your future in the hands of a reckless gambler. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This isn't meant to create fear, but urgency. Waiting for a lucky break or a cosmic sign is not hope. It's delay disguised as faith. We often mask inaction with a spiritual-sounding excuse. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. But the Stoics would push back on that. They wouldn't tell you to wait for your destiny. They'd tell you to meet it halfway. Stoicism reclaims your agency. You can't control fortune, but you can control your character, your response, and your will. Instead of praying for ease or chance, train for resilience. Build the strength to face whatever life throws at you. When you act from principle rather than luck, you rise above chaos. The truth is, no golden opportunity is coming with your name on it. And if it does, it won't wait for you to feel ready. Fortune might offer you a window, but it won't hold it open. That's why the Stoic approach is to act without guarantee. Don't wait for an invitation. Build the door yourself. If the world gives you silence, move forward anyway. If obstacles appear, use them to sharpen your skills. The Stoic warrior doesn't complain about the path. They walk it with purpose. So here's your call to action. Stop gambling your life on luck. Don't wait for the world to hand you your shot. Take it. Don't search the skies for signs. Look inside, to your values and your discipline. That's your guide. That's your edge. Remember, fortune is fickle, but you can be immovable. Train your soul, take action, and let your character, not your circumstances, shape your destiny. Number 6, progress requires momentum, not permission. One of the most dangerous myths is that we need someone else's approval to begin. We wait for qualifications, encouragement, a mentor's nod, or a perfect plan before we dare to take the first step. But the Stoics dismantled this illusion centuries ago. Epictetus taught that we already have everything we need: reason, will, and purpose. No great thing is created suddenly, he said, reminding us that greatness is not born from permission, but from consistent action. You are already equipped. The question is not, am I allowed to start? It's, will I choose to? The trap of waiting lies in its slow erosion of your willpower. You overplan. You overthink. You convince yourself that starting tomorrow will somehow be easier. But tomorrow turns into next week, and next week becomes never. Momentum dies before it's even born. You don't become great by thinking about action. You become great by taking it. Whether it's a single word, a single workout, or a single conversation, every deliberate act is a brick laid in the foundation of your future self. Stoicism is about discipline in motion. The path isn't paved with inspiration. It's built with consistent, intentional effort. Even small progress compounds. A tiny step today makes the next one easier, and before long, you're miles ahead of where you once stood frozen. The Stoics didn't wait for a lightning bolt of divine inspiration. They acted, daily and humbly. They knew that stillness isn't always peace. Sometimes it's stagnation wearing a disguise. Movement is the antidote. So here's your call to action. Stop asking for permission to start. You don't need a title, a following, or a green light from anyone. The only permission you need is your own decision. Begin now. Pick up the pen, make the call, take the risk. It doesn't have to be grand. It just has to be real. The first step will never be perfect, but it's the step that makes all others possible. And the moment you take it, you're no longer waiting, you're becoming. Number 7. The world owes you nothing. The Stoics never sugar-coated life. They didn't promise comfort, fairness, or cosmic rewards. In fact, one of their most powerful truths is this: the world owes you nothing, not an explanation, not an opportunity. 7. The world owes you nothing. The Stoics never sugar-coated life. They didn't promise comfort, fairness, or cosmic rewards. In fact, one of their most powerful truths is this: the world owes you nothing, not an explanation, not an opportunity, not even a sign that you're on the right path. Life is not cruel, but it is indifferent. Expecting the universe to serve you success, clarity, or applause is a setup for frustration. The red carpet isn't coming. Waiting for the world to acknowledge your potential is a silent form of surrender. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Love not only your fate, but every moment of it." That doesn't just mean accepting the good. It means embracing the confusion, the silence, the slow progress, and the unanswered prayers. That's the challenge of real resilience. The Stoic doesn't ask, "Why isn't the world helping me?" They ask, "What must I do in this moment?" regardless of what the world offers. Life's lack of response isn't a sign to stop. It's a test of whether you'll keep going without applause. The truth is, no one is coming to save you or to hand you a roadmap. That's not how this works. The Stoic doesn't wait for validation. They act from virtue. They don't react to the noise or silence of the world. They set their own inner compass. That's the power of radical self-responsibility, to steer your course even when the wind is against you and the skies offer no sign. Stop hoping someone will tell you you're worthy. Act like you already know. Take ownership of your choices, your energy, your time. The world may never thank you, notice you, or reward you, but that doesn't matter. Your power isn't in what life gives. It's in what you choose to do, over and over, with full resolve and no apology. That is Stoic freedom, to act without needing permission, and to keep moving forward whether the world claps or not. 8. Your character is built through action, not answers. The Stoics were not armchair philosophers. They didn't write about life from a safe distance. They lived it in the fire. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire during plague and war. Epictetus was born a slave and rose through the sheer strength of inner freedom. Seneca faced exile and death with calm resolve. These men didn't theorize about character. They built it, one hard choice at a time. They knew what too many forget. Character is not formed in waiting. It is forged in motion, under pressure, in uncertainty, and through pain. If you keep waiting for clarity, comfort, or divine answers before you act, your character never gets tested, and untested character doesn't grow. The best version of you isn't sitting quietly in the shadows, hoping for a sign. It's on the other side of that difficult conversation, that tough decision, that scary leap forward. Every time you reject the easy path and choose discipline over delay, you chip away at weakness and sculpt strength. The Stoics didn't become wise because they waited. They became wise because they moved. Life's lessons are not in books alone. They're in experience. The Stoic path demands you step into discomfort. It asks you to take responsibility before you feel fully prepared. It calls you to choose the harder right over the easier wrong. This is how character is formed. Not from knowing the right thing, but from doing it. You grow not when everything is certain, but when you keep acting even when nothing is. Your courage, resilience, and clarity are the products of consistent, courageous motion. Stop waiting for the moment that feels right. It may never come. You don't need more answers. You need more action. The person you want to become won't emerge from stillness. That version of you will be built. One hard decision, one honest effort, one fearless step at a time. Be like the Stoics. Don't wait for the sign. Be the sign. Be the proof that action, not delay, shapes a life of meaning and strength. That's your road forward. Now walk it. Conclusion. So stop waiting. There are no road signs, no green lights, no perfect moment when the world will look at you and nod in approval. The truth is, life doesn't hand you a map. It hands you moments. And those moments don't come with guarantees. The Stoics knew this. They knew that life is not a well-paved highway. It's a storm you walk through with steady feet and an anchored mind. You are not meant to wait for calm skies. You are meant to move with courage under dark clouds. Marcus Aurelius didn't ask for perfect conditions. He acted based on virtue, not approval. Seneca didn't wait for consensus. He acted based on reason, not applause. And Epictetus, he taught that the only thing you control is how you respond, not how the world behaves. So if you're standing still, waiting for life to give you permission, you're already falling behind. You are your own sign. You are your own permission. The clock is ticking. Time is slipping. And fear? It will always scream the loudest just before you leap. Drop a comment below. I moved today, and mean it.